Planning a Disney World vacation is tough, but we're here to help you crack the code and get the hardest reservations without any stress. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Do you know which restaurants book up the fastest in Disney World? Or do you know how early you need to decide if you're building a lightsaber in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge? Today we're going to talk about the hardest reservations to get in Disney World and how and when you need to make those bookings. So let's get started. If you want to get a quick cheat sheet to all the information in this video without having to take all those notes, head to disneyfoodblog.com/hardreservations. We've got everything written down for you so you don't need to take notes on which reservations you need to grab ASAP and how to get them. When you drop your email, we'll also sign you up for our totally free newsletter, which is where we put everything first, so you won't miss a bit of Disney Parks news. Just go to disneyfoodblog.com/hardreservations to get your copy. All right, we're kicking things off with restaurants because everyone's got to eat in Disney World, and chances are you'll want to dine at one of these restaurants on the list. These restaurants are popular and some have limited capacity, which makes it even harder to snag that coveted advanced dining reservation. Right now, you can make advanced dining reservations, or ADRs, 60 days ahead of time. New reservations become available at 6 a.m. Eastern online, or you can call in at 7 a.m. You can make reservations using your My Disney Experience account, either on a browser on your computer or in the app. Or you can call 407-939-3463, though the call center is more for troubleshooting nowadays. They really prefer you book online. If you're staying in a Disney hotel, you can make reservations for your whole trip 60 days out from your arrival day. If you're staying somewhere else, you'll need to make reservations 60 days in advance of each day of your trip. Previously, the advanced dining reservation booking window opened 180 days in advance, so always keep an eye on Disney's policies and updates. Join our newsletter. Our newsletter subscribers are the first people to know about any updates and changes. And it could change if you're watching this video a year from now. Hi from the past. Now, you should plan to book any of the restaurants on this list. Get yourself a reservation because they are popular. They do sell out. Now, let's get into those restaurants. First up, Be Our Guest Restaurant. This Beauty and the Beast themed restaurant in Magic Kingdom is only open for lunch and dinner right now, both of which are a prix signature fancy meal. The food is fancier than many restaurants in Magic Kingdom, but not necessarily the best food you can get. You may be paying a lot, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's all great. You're likely coming to this restaurant for the atmosphere, though, and that's exactly the reason it is super popular. If their quick service lunch comes back, that's one of our favorite lunches in all of Disney World. A great price point, so many delicious options, but for now, it is a signature meal. It is a prix meal for lunch, and it's expensive. So now, if you can't get a reservation, there's not much on par here, but Crystal Palace might be a good option for some iconic Magic Kingdom scenery and prix eats. Or you could head to Cinderella's Royal Table, which is, of course, in the castle, and you get to catch a glimpse of Cinderella. That would probably be the only thing that would be comparable to the concept of Be Our Guest. Speaking of Cinderella's Royal Table, that's next on our list. If you love princesses and want to see the inside of Cinderella Castle, who doesn't, right? A reservation at CRT is a no-brainer. The food is pricey, $75 per adult and $45 per kid at lunch and dinner. That's insane. Yes, you're right. That's insane. And the menu is kind of limited and another prix experience. But again, you're coming here for the atmosphere and to see Cinderella, and the food isn't bad. It's just not the star of the show. Right now, you'll only briefly see Cinderella, but typically you'll see several princesses who will come to your table for photos and autographs. That's in non-COVID times. When Akershus and Epcot's Norway Pavilion reopens, or Trattoria Al Forno brings their princess character breakfast again, those are good alternatives if you can't get into Cindy's. All right, another popular character meal, this time with Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto. Of course, we're talking about Chef Mickey's. This is the only place you can meet all of those characters together, and it's right inside the main concourse of the Contemporary Resort, making it a destination-worthy restaurant. If you can't get into Chef Mickey's, try for a reservation at Epcot's Garden Grill. You'll only get to see Mickey and Pluto from the Fab Five, but you'll see a lot of them in addition to Chip and Dale. Plus, the food there is always served family style, which is a nice alternative to a buffet, and it's delicious food. Currently, Chef Mickey's is serving things family style, but we don't know how long that's going to stick around. Okay, next up is Topolino's Terrace Breakfast. This is the newest character meal at breakfast, featuring Mickey over at Disney's Riviera Resort. You'll also meet Donald, Daisy, and Minnie, and they're all wearing super cute costumes. Mickey is a painter, Minnie is a poet, Daisy is a dancer, and Donald is a sculptor. Very Renaissance. The food is a little more upscale and served prefix here. Price-wise, it's on a par with Chef Mickey's, but the calmer atmosphere and quality of food gives it a bit of an edge for us. Hollywood and Vine at Hollywood Studios has a lunch and dinner character meal featuring Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Pluto in fun seasonal costumes if you're into the outfits and can't get into Topolino's Terrace. They also have a Disney Junior breakfast meal too. All right, Beaches and Cream at the Beach Club Resort recently expanded their dining room to accommodate more guests, but even with that extra space, this ice cream parlor that also serves up some delicious comfort food is still a tough reservation to get. If you just want to grab a milkshake, you can stop by the resort's lounge. They used to have a to-go window at Beaches and Cream, but that's closed right now. But if you're looking for a similar sit-down meal, try the fountain over at the Swan and Dolphin. You won't be able to order the massive kitchen sink sundae, but you can get ice cream and burgers in a low-key atmosphere at a reasonable price tag, and the sundaes are delicious. All right, next up are two Hollywood Studios restaurants that kind of go hand in hand. Both are all about the atmosphere. Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater is themed to look like a drive-in theater. You eat in a convertible car and watch clips of movies and cartoons on a giant screen. The food is mostly burgers, milkshakes, ribs, classic American dishes. Nothing stellar, but not bad per se. But this restaurant definitely is popular and can book up fast. 50s Primetime Cafe is themed like a 50s kitchen. The servers are all your cousin or aunt or uncle, and they'll make you set the table and eat your vegetables. The food is 50s fare, pot roast, fried chicken, meatloaf. Again, not phenomenal, but you're here for the atmosphere. There's not much like 50s Primetime Cafe or Sci-Fi Dine-In, but if you can't get one, try for the other or try swinging by right when they open their doors to see if there's a last-minute reservation available. Or try Whispering Canyon Cafe at Wilderness Lodge for a similar menu and some fun hijinks. All right, Sanaa. It's kind of a surprise that this Animal Kingdom Lodge restaurant has become so popular recently. It used to be our go-to for a last-minute lunch reservation, but with nothing else open at Animal Kingdom Lodge, this is now a hot reservation. You should definitely opt for a lunch booking or early dinner reservation here. You can see out onto the savannah and you'll be able to see a lot more animals in the daylight. The menu is a little more exotic here with African and Indian inspiration, but pretty much everyone can find something they like. If you can't get a reservation, you can try to dine in the lounge. It's first come, first served, but you may not be able to get in to check if you aren't staying at the hotel. It's at the discretion of cast members during COVID regulations. Or you get to-go foods. There are a few restaurants at Disney World that you can order to-go meals from or take back to your hotel. All right, Oga's Cantina. This is the lounge in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and it is by far the hardest reservation to get in Disney World right now. It's small, and with social distancing, the capacity is even lower. They even have a 45-minute time limit to be able to bring more guests into the cantina. If you're a Star Wars fan, this one needs to be a reservation you try for. It's inspired by the cantina from the film, and it is so cool in there, even if the drinks are super expensive and pre-mixed. The cantina is kind of in its own class, but if you like themed bars and lounges and can't get in there, you can always try to get into Trader Sam's if the cantina is all booked up. Now, Trader Sam's will probably be just as hard to get into when it reopens, but there are no reservations in advance at the Polynesian Village Resort Tiki Bar, so if you show up at opening, you may get in without a long wait. Okay, Victoria and Albert's, this uber fancy restaurant at the Grand Floridian Resort is definitely for special occasions. You'll be dropping over $200 a person on the multi-course feast. V&A is a AAA 5-diamond restaurant, and you aren't finding too many of those around, but there are other options if you're looking for some fine dining to celebrate something special. Kappa at the Four Seasons Resort may be on par, though the atmosphere isn't quite as exclusive. They don't have a harp player, for example. Takumite in Epcot's Japan Pavilion is another good option if you're open to Japanese cuisine. It's a high-end setting, and you can order a chef's tasting menu that is lengthy and a complete experience. Now, the next one we're going to talk about California Grill and Ohana during the fireworks. Yeah, California Grill at the Contemporary Resort and Ohana at the Polynesian Village Resort are definitely popular. But the reservations that go the fastest are during fireworks time because both of these restaurants offer views of the Magic Kingdom fireworks. If you still want your dinner to have some Polynesian flair, try for a reservation at Kona Cafe if you couldn't get one at Ohana. Then head out to the beach to watch the fireworks after your meal. And if you can get a reservation at California Grill earlier in the evening, you can come back to view fireworks with your receipt. You can also dine in the restaurant's lounge at any time and come back with that receipt to see the fireworks. All right, so how do you get these reservations? Well, if you weren't able to get a reservation at these restaurants in advance, keep checking back. That is always our first tip because people do book again 60 days in advance and things change. So they'll potentially be canceling reservations right up until the day before. So just keep checking and something might open up. Also, don't be married to a specific time. If you can go to a restaurant at an off time, like a not so busy meal time, for example, if you want to go for dinner, maybe try a 4:00 p.m. reservation. If you want to go for lunch, 1:30 or 2 o'clock, those are going to be much easier to get than those 12 p.m. or 6 p.m. lunch dinner reservations, right? So definitely play with the time frame. And if you know you're trying to get a very, very, very popular reservation like an Oga's Cantina, then book your dining reservation first and work the rest of your day around it. If you can only get into Oga's Cantina at 4:15 p.m., fine. Book Oga's at 4:15 and then book everything else around that time. Now remember, you must cancel dining reservations 24 hours in advance or you'll be charged a no-show penalty of $10 per person. This is a great time to check for last-minute reservations as people will cancel to avoid that fee. So if you haven't gotten your dream reservation, then definitely take that last-ditch effort 24 hours in advance and see if folks are canceling. Now, you can also check Disney's walk-up waitlist feature to see which restaurants have availability now. That's in the My Disney Experience app. These restaurants may not show up since they're super popular, but it's always worth checking. That walk-up waitlist feature is brand new, and it'll tell you who's got a table right now. So those are your secrets. Book right when you can, right at 60 days in advance or 180 days if it goes back to that. Remember to keep checking. Check every single morning right when they open because those cancellations are happening all the time. Also, check at that 24 hours in advance time frame because people are going to be canceling so that they're not charged that fee. And be sure to check the walk-up waitlist feature as well. If you are there, it's the last minute, and you're dying to eat at Be Our Guest restaurant, then you can check walk-up waitlist or go right up to the podium and ask if they have any walk-up tables available. Oh, and of course, don't be married to your time frame. Take whatever reservations you can get and then try to modify them to the ideal reservation time. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about Savi's Workshop. This is probably the top activity in Disney World right now, both in terms of popularity and price. It costs $199 per lightsaber, and you can bring one extra person in with you. If you've got a family of 4, you've got to build at least 2 lightsabers to get the whole group in. Now, of course, this is in Galaxy's Edge, and this is where you build your Star Wars lightsaber. The whole thing is an experience, kind of like Ollivanders over at Universal's Wizarding World, where you can build your very own lightsaber, and you choose all the different parts of your lightsaber. It's very, very fancy. You can make reservations for this 60 days in advance as well, and those reservations are super important. There may be walk-up reservations, but since you may only have a day or 2 in Hollywood Studios on your trip, I wouldn't risk it if you really want to build your own lightsaber. This is when you'll want to be ready to book as soon as that booking window opens. Now, the secret to get this, kind of the same as those fancy restaurants, right? Book immediately at 6 or 7 a.m. at 60 days out from the day you want to build your lightsaber. Be willing to take any time that's available on that day you're going to be in Hollywood Studios. And if you can't get the reservation, keep checking back because, again, there will be cancellations. Okay, park passes. Right now, everyone needs a park pass reservation in addition to park tickets to get into the Disney World theme parks. They're very important, and some days may be pretty hard to get. There are days that are sold out months in advance sometimes if those are going to be super popular dates, like if there's a special event or a holiday. Now, you should plan to book your park passes as soon as you have your tickets, so you have the best selection of availability because they can sell out. So which days should you prioritize? Okay, weekends are very important. If you're an annual pass holder, definitely book weekend visits further in advance because they tend to fill up much faster than weekdays do. Holidays, these go fast for everyone. If you're visiting for Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's, book those passes ASAP. 50th anniversary. Disney World is celebrating its 50th anniversary on October 1st. Magic Kingdom is already sold out for that day, so you need to book your park passes for that week as soon as you can so you don't get shut out of the parks you want to visit. Hollywood Studios, it's the most popular park by far right now thanks to Rise of the Resistance, but Epcot will soon be vying for that top spot. Some of Disney World's top rides are in Hollywood Studios right now, and having a park pass at this park is the only way you've got a shot at riding Rise of the Resistance. Remember, you can't ride it if you park hop over later on. If you're going to Disney in the fall, winter, early 2022, consider booking your Epcot passes further out since the park will soon have 2 top new rides, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, so that one's going to be real hard to get park passes for soon. Park passes are available into the beginning of 2023 right now, so you can book far in advance. Get those park passes, they're free, might as well book them. All right, Rise of the Resistance. Speaking of top rides, Rise of the Resistance is the hardest ride to get on in Disney World, and you need to make a reservation to do so. This is currently the only ride at Disney World that has a virtual queue line, though we could see more when new rides open in the future, so it's always good to know how it works. Like I said, you must have a park pass reservation for Hollywood Studios to have a chance to ride Rise of the Resistance. You can't ride it if you park hop over. On your Hollywood Studios day, the virtual queue for this ride will open at 7 a.m., and you can get your spot in the My Disney Experience app. It's right on the main screen, and it will walk you through the steps, but I highly recommend linking your traveling party together in the app before your trip. We got lots of videos and blog posts with how-tos and tips for how to do that, and for how to get a pass for Rise of the Resistance. Now, they open the virtual queue again at 1 p.m. for guests who are in the park. The 7 a.m. batch can be accessed from anywhere, but at 1 p.m. you must be in the park to get a boarding group. Disney has changed the times and rules around getting boarding passes before, so always stay up on the latest updates so you know what to do and when to try for a boarding pass. Plan a second day at Hollywood Studios to give yourself more chances to get a boarding pass so you aren't relying totally on that one day to get on this top ride. Okay, free dining. Disney will likely release a lot of deals and discounts in the next year to drum up tourism, but the most popular and the most highly anticipated is the potential free dining package. The Disney dining plan is still on hold. This is a way to prepay for the dining on your trip in exchange for credit that you can redeem for snacks and meals. And the free dining promotion is just what it sounds like, a free Disney dining package. So if the dining plan does come back, then we may be seeing free dining again. You'll pay full price for your hotel room, but you may come out ahead with this deal, and it is definitely popular. It books super fast, so if you want to get it, you gotta be ready to book as soon as it becomes available. We'll be the first to let you know when the dining plan comes back and if free dining is announced. So follow along with us at DisneyFoodBlog.com and sign up for our free newsletter. We've got the sign up link below this video. So if free dining does come back, what should you do? Well, again, book as soon as possible. Don't be married to specific dates because the free dining package is extremely limited and it's only available at certain hotels. So you may have to switch your hotel or switch your dates in order to get an available package. If you already have a Disney trip booked, you can try to apply the free dining package to that trip. All you have to do is call Disney and ask if it's available to apply to your already existing reservation. If not, they can help you rebook to a different reservation that the free dining plan is applicable for. So again, flexibility is key to getting this reservation. Make sure you're willing to switch your hotel or even switch your dates in order to save potentially thousands of dollars. All right, let's talk about certain hotel rooms. If you want a specific room category or type, make sure to book early to get what you want. Epcot area resorts, Boardwalk Inn, Yacht and Beach Club, Swan and Dolphin, those may book up faster around Epcot festival weekends or when those new rides are opening in Epcot. Specialty rooms that there are fewer of may book up sooner as well. These are rooms like the Royal Rooms at Port Orleans Riverside, the Pirate Rooms at Caribbean Beach Resort, Preferred Rooms, or Theme Park View Rooms. Really, any room that has a limited amount of rooms in that category and that are very desirable. If you have a specific room you want, book it as soon as you know your travel dates. And of course, Disney can't promise you a specific room, but they can guarantee certain views or certain room types in some hotels. If there aren't any discounts or deals available, go ahead and book anyway. You can add discounts to existing reservations like I talked about with free dining, so go ahead and grab that room type you want so you've got it locked in. You can always apply a discount later. Again, the secret here is early booking. As soon as you know you want to go to Disney World, get that hotel booked and remember the cancellation policy. Usually you have plenty of time to cancel, but it's always good to know. All right, let's talk about food and wine festival events. Epcot festivals may be starting to move back towards normal, and that may mean we see tasting and pairing meals and seminars come back this fall. We'll see. A lot of these events book up fast, so you want to decide which events you want to do and book them as soon as possible. We will let you know on Disney Food Blog when the opening date is for those bookings. Events like the Parisian breakfast, tequila luncheon, celebrity chef demos, those are all super popular and can book up in a matter of minutes. These typically would start booking a month to 3 weeks before the start of the festival. We'll be keeping an eye on it this year to see if these events may be coming back. But the secret here is sometimes to have multiple devices going to try to get these reservations. When there's a really desirable food and wine festival event that I really want to get, I will be trying to book on 2 separate computers and on my phone all at the same time. You know why? Because the Disney website and the Disney phone systems tend to crash when they are overwhelmed, when there's tons of people trying to get those tickets. So if you don't want your call to be dropped after being on hold for 3 hours, plan to have multiple devices going at once. That's a huge secret. It's a huge tip. It may save your opportunity for sure. We just had a bunch of our staff members trying to book for the Touch of Disney event over in Disneyland, and of course that was a disaster. People were in virtual waiting rooms for hours. But strangely, one of our team members was able to use the Safari browser on their phone, and they got in much faster than any of us who'd already been waiting for an hour. Strange, don't know why it happens that way, but try multiple browsers, multiple devices. And always be on hold on the phone as well. Now, these are just the toughest reservations to get in Disney World, but if there's something on your must-do list, I highly recommend you go ahead and book that as soon as you can. If the parks are super busy, every restaurant can become a hard reservation to get, and you don't want to be stuck missing out on the things you really wanted to do because you waited too long to book. So I hope some of these secrets will help you. I know I have spent so much time and effort, so many hours on hold. I've had so many websites crashed as I try to get these really popular event tickets or restaurant reservations, especially for opening days of restaurants. Those are crazy. So hopefully this will help you. Book early. Don't be married to the time. Make sure that you can be flexible, have multiple devices going, have multiple people calling at once. Those are the best ways to avoid any glitches, any issues, and to make sure you're successful. Well, thank you guys for listening. Thanks for watching. I definitely want you to have the best possible trip you can to Disney World. I don't want you to miss out on anything you really want to do. So follow these secrets, follow these rules, and you'll have the best potential chance of going where you want to go and doing what you want to do. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.